Hi, this is Libby.
And this is Roberta. And this is ArtBlog Radio. Today we're talking with two members of the Grizzly Alternative Gallery in Chinatown. That's Mike Ellyson and Jacque. And we're in their gallery in the old industrial building that now is the home to 5 artist-run spaces and some additional artist studios. It's called the Box Building, or that's what we refer to it as. We don't know what it's called, really. And it's at 319 North 11th Street. There are no windows in the Grizzly space, and the room is filled to bursting with 35 works in their November show, which is called Other Possible Titles. And we're sitting here as we record this. They put out a call, just in case you're not clear. They put out the call for artists for this show in September and got almost 250 submissions from all over the U.S. and as far away as Ireland and Australia. Let's talk about the tremendous response you got for this show.
This is Jacque. Hi. We were hoping for a lot. I would have been really happy if we had come up with 100. We had nearly half of the applicants were from Brooklyn. Then we ended up only taking 2 of the people from Brooklyn, I think. And then a lot of the artists are actually from Philadelphia. And so that made us very happy with the quality of the work that was in Philly. It was very encouraging sort of to see the state of contemporary art because there was so much good work being done.
One of the things that you've done in this show is to ask people to vote. There are 35 pieces of art in the room, and people can vote on their favorite thing.
This show came about as a way to get the audience really invested in the work. You know, I think like the average time that people spend in front of a piece of artwork is like 3 seconds, but artists spend so much time making it, right? And then they might be able to get everything they need to get in 3 seconds, but they might not be able to also. We're trying to get the audience engaged more deeply, so that
how are you doing that?
Well, so by letting them vote, by giving them agency, then like they have the ability to actually affect the outcome of something.
And do you feel like it succeeded?
Yeah, people stayed in here a lot longer, and then people would come back.
I think this is our biggest show. Yeah. I've never seen so many people in this space at one time.
Yeah, but we couldn't get in on opening night.
You couldn't, I remember, right?
Yeah. We could not get in the door. It was so full of people.
And they didn't look unhappy either, those people. They were very happy to stand there and stare at what they were looking at. Yeah. So it was really great.
And did you have any damage? I mean, that's the big question when you have a gallery and you have so many people at the opening. Anything fall off a pedestal or get knocked around?
No, knock on wood.
Excellent.
The other thing about this show, which I think we were trying to do, is that usually people are like, they go in like a commercial gallery, right? They want to buy things, but none of our audience can really afford to buy anything. So like, what else are we giving them? We're giving the artists a venue to show, but our audience is really educated in art. They have masters of fine art. They have a long history. This is their life, right? And just because they don't buy anything doesn't mean that they don't have value inside of here. And so by giving them the opportunity to vote, then we're using their knowledge to actually give them something else.
So tell us how 8 people juried this show, because that's a really, really large jury, right? Did everybody participate?
Everyone participated, and then we had a couple of sessions. We had one first culling session where we just looked at the images, and some of the artists we knew and some of the work I think required a little bit of context. So then if that came up, then we would say something about the work, if it wasn't clear in the image right away. And then if they didn't sort of fit, sort of the mission that we're looking for, or some kind of Grizzly Aesthetic, then we would just not have that in there.
What is the Grizzly Aesthetic?
Put me on the spot here.
Yeah, Mike, tell us.
I don't know if you could actually describe it, but you know it when you see it.
So who are the people who juried the show?
There's me and Mike. There's Cindy Stockton-Moore. There's Mary Small, Dennis Matthews, Josh Weiss, Matt Price, and Ruth Scott. What's really cool about this group, I have to say, is that everybody does something else besides make art that contributes in some really important way here, right?
For instance?
Mary is an accountant, right? She handles all of our cash money, which is something which is always very harrowing for all artists, and it's really, really scary for us. So we're just like, this is how much money we spent, deal with it. Cindy used to be in a gallery. She used to run a gallery, and then so she brings a lot of that experience also. I started the space in another nonprofit space in Berlin. Inside these,
I'm the
these
drunk,
four
so
walls.
I like to get drunk.
I like to
You're
get
the
drunk too.
sensitive
I like to
one.
get drunk too.
So I'm the local drunk, so.
So in the course of doing this, are you learning anything?
Yes.
Yes.
What?
I knew that was coming. Dealing with artists?
Is it tough?
Pain in the ass.
Who is the biggest
Not
pain
really,
in the
no.
ass? I mean, come on.
Myself,
You've got
no,
some
no.
great shows.
No. It's
Mike
not.
is the biggest pain in the
I
ass.
know, I am the big pain in the ass. It's not a pain in the ass, but sometimes it can be. It's just emails, conversations, phone calls, just get everything organized and everything like that. But it's also beautiful to have something like this going.
So what bankrolls this space? This is an investment.
We all put, it's like going to dinner. This space is $215 a month. So with that being said, with three of us was kind of, when we first started, four of us, it was 50, probably $60 a month with maybe 70 with paint.
Jackson tip.
Oh yeah, exactly.
It'll be great if we got tips.
But when you think
We
about
should
with
tip
8
jar
people,
out front,
I know.
That'd be great.
But when you think about it with 8 people, it's like going to dinner at night. We also put in $40 a month now, maybe more, maybe less, depending on the show and the painting, the gallery, and miscellaneous things that we buy for the gallery. But that's a night on the town, So we all put our own money in, and what we get out of it is this, this amazing thing that's happening. So
Yeah, tell us a little bit about your day jobs. Do all of you have day jobs?
We do.
good,
Jacques?
good
Yes.
one.
Yes, ma'am.
Explain yourself.
And
So I work as a senior program associate at the Pew Center for Arts and Heritage.
I bake. I'm
You
a baker.
bake?
I bake. Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Where do you bake?
Giappronto, West Philly.
We've been in there.
Yeah, we love Giappronto.
Yeah. So in the morning, I bake all their bread, and they ship it out to all the restaurants.
And is the baking on site in the West Philly place, or is there a
It's
special
actually
baking place?
It's actually, I have there's only one baker, which is me, and I bake. Basically, I do all of it, and I have a little spot in the Perlman Center for Cancer. It's in the hospital, UPenn, and so there's a room for me, of all the baking
In the
necessities.
hospital.
In the hospital. So I'm around cancer treatment patients every day. So I don't see them, but I see them when I walk out or do something.
Yeah.
So, do you have a background in baking?
In high school, I was a big fan of home economics. I loved it. I was cooking. Met my first girlfriend there. Gave her a little bear.
Really?
Broke up with her.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, shit happens.
That's
I don't
great.
A bear? Is that something you cooked?
Because I didn't
a little
kiss her.
bear?
I didn't kiss her. That's why she broke up with me. I didn't give her a kiss. I was like,
Well, what was the
with you?
bear made out of?
a
That
little silver bear, a little hard on it.
silver?
I asked for it back at her locker. I wish I could go into detail, but that's how it all started. The girl, the baking.
It always starts with the girl. That's great.
You've got people coming in here showing work from out of town. When they see how tiny this space is, and where it's at, what's their reaction?
Oh, they get pissed.
Do they?
No, that's not get pissed. What the hell is it? No.
But we're not behind
Is
you here tonight.
this your closet? No.
So let's tell people what the dimensions are. What are the dimensions of the space?
right off, I think it's 19,
By 11, maybe?
12, yeah. I thought of 14, but I'm not sure. I don't know. But I know it's 19 by a lower
number.
A lower
Yeah.
number.
But nobody's gotten mad, right?
Nobody's gotten mad. Actually, the space is really romantic, I think. It's very tiny. It's great. I think it's a great spot. It's just enough space to have a show, in my opinion. Or a certain kind of show,
It shape shifts. I mean, I've been in here when the two people from the Honeymooners installed a kitchen in here, including what looked like a black and white tile floor and beams in the ceiling. It looked like a huge kitchen.
Yeah, it was awesome. They had tap wine in that show.
That one.
That
That was
the
Paul
best.
and Paul Outlaw and Jim
Outlaw.
Carlton. So
Yes.
yeah, they did an amazing job of transforming the space.
I mean, the space is small, but it's manageable. What's cool about this floor is that, like, with all these small galleries, You know, like we're small enough, like we're 8 people. So, and that's kind of a lot, right? But if we want to do something, we can just do it. You know, we have a lot of flexibility. If we, you know, like this call for entries show, I was like, you guys want to do this? And like, yes, let's do it. It's done. You know, there's no organizational tape we have to go through. There's nobody we got to clear it by, right? So Tiger also is that way. Napoleon's that way. Marginal's that way. You know, so it gives us a lot of potential for really innovative things to happen.
Yeah, I think as long as
we like it being that loose.
Yeah, I think as long as you stay as the sort of creature that you are, that you don't change it into an organization, that
I would have.
You can do this.
Yeah,
I mean, it might eventually one day, but in a way, right now, the philosophy is I like the looseness.
We don't have like an executive director. You know, like people fulfill different roles in the gallery, but you know, there's no hierarchy of anything. You know, everybody has an equal vote.
It's a round table.
It's a round table.
And you're not thinking of becoming a nonprofit at this point, or
we're thinking
applying
about
for
it because
grants?
there's benefits for you know, like for grants and stuff like that. We're thinking about it.
It's on the table.
Okay, well, we've been talking with Mike Ellyson and Jacque at Grizzly.
Thanks so much, guys. It's been
Thank
great.
you.
Thank you.
ArtBlog Radio is brought to you by the ArtBlog.org. Thanks to our sponsors, including the Knight Foundation.
Also, we want to thank Peter Crimmins, who makes us sound good. He's our editor. And thanks to Eric Biondo for his music. You can download these podcasts at the artblog.org/radio.